Hi, I'm Cath, and welcome to my house. This is the first of a series of tutorials about Christmas decorations. We're going to start with bows. For me, as you can see on the pictures, bows and ribbons are an important part of my Christmas decoration. I think they are a very affordable and beautiful way of decorating for Christmas. I use them in wreaths, in swags, on the Christmas tree, basically everywhere I can imagine. So welcome to a few tutorials about bows. We're going to start with a project I call a chestnut Christmas tree. This is a tabletop tree. So in this tutorial we are going to make a small bow. Let's get started. The first thing we need is a pair of scissors, and we need a wire cutter if we don't want to cut the wire with our scissors. Then of course we need wires. The type of wire we're using depends a little bit on where we are going to use our bow. This wire has a plastic wrapping around it, which is great if we are going to use our bow in, for example, a moist environment like outdoors, on the porch, in the bathroom or something like that. This doesn't get rusty, which means that our bow will hold much longer. This type of wire has a paper wrapped around it, and that makes it great for sensitive materials. Let's say you make a bow and you want to hang it on top of your curtain rod. This wire can never damage the curtains. When I do this type of bow, I fold the end of the wire and make a little hook of it. That way I can hang my bow on top of the rod, and the wire is strong enough to hold the bow, and the paper doesn't harm the curtains. This is a plain metal wire, and this can stain your bow if you're not careful or if you have it in a moist environment. The wire is not coated in any way. This is quite a sturdy wire, and I've chosen this wire for this project because this is going to be a smaller bow to our Christmas chestnut tree, and I want something I can push through the chestnut tree's base. Now we're going to need about 7 inches of this wire for our small bow. This is going to be a plain bow in 1 layer. And I've already cut a piece of ribbon. When you measure the ribbon, you choose twice the size of the bow you want to make and add an extra 3/4 of an inch so you can fold it properly without it getting loose. I overlay the 3/4 of an inch. I find the middle in the 3/4, turn the bow, as you can see, and find the middle on the front. This is the middle of my bow. When I got that, yes, I think that's okay. I push it together like this. Make sure I have material on both sides. I fold my wire, turn it over. Make sure the material is on either side of the wire, and I twist. And here we have the single layer on this bow. It doesn't matter if the middle part isn't perfectly folded, because we are going to cover this up when we have mounted the hanging ribbons on this bow. So let's start with the hanging ribbons. We want to do something to the edges, and we can have them straight, cut them like this, or we can fold them and cut them like this. This means we get a very even and nice cut. Or we can do it as I prefer to do it. I like to cut this in freehand because I think it brings more life to the bow if it's not too perfect. Now we have both ends cut. And we're going to the middle once again. Push it together. The right side against the bow on top. Put it behind the bow like this. You see how I have the wires? Connect the wires and twist. We're going to push this down later, but it's actually quite a nice bow already. Now we are going to put a small ribbon across the bow. So I change position of the wires, as you can see, straighten them out. And we're going to put the ribbon in the middle here of the bow. So let's find a piece of ribbon. Now it's best to cut this a little too longer than shorter, because that makes it more difficult. So I'm measuring the amount of ribbon I need. Let's see. Something like this, I think. Yes, we're cutting right here. There are two ways you can put this little ribbon on, depending on how you want it to look. If you don't want the visible edges here, I can fold them in like this, so I don't see them, and put them on like this. In this project, I like to see the edges, so I'm going to fold it like this, like a T shape. This is quite a sturdy ribbon, so it's a little tricky here. We'll see. I'll just fold it along the side of the edge like this. I want it nice and even, something like this. Like I said, this is a sturdy ribbon, so it's moving around a little bit right now. I fold it like a T shape. Let's see. Here we go. Here we have something. And I fold it around my bow like this. I don't want to make this too wide, but I think this is quite okay. And as you can see, you see the edges. Now, I pull this on the back side. Look where I have the wires. Make it tight. As tight as I want. A little firmer here. Let's see. Okay, no, I want it a little tighter. I just press this a little bit more. I don't want this to be too loose, so just push this in a little bit more. That looks okay. Yeah, I like that. Now I turn it and take the wire, hold it steady, push them over and twist. And you have to twist this a few times so it's sturdy. As I said, it's better to have a little too much than too little, so we have an edge here that we have to trim off, but that's not a problem. Okay, let's push this around a little bit and bring the wires down. Now we're going to start to form and shape the bow. Bring this down a little bit and curl them a little. Like this, and we push up the loops so it looks a little bit more fluffy. This is why I love the wired ribbons, because it's so much easier to shape them like this. And here we go. Push this a little bit to the side. I don't think it was exactly in the middle. Like this. Yeah, I think that starts to take shape. And this is a pretty little nice bow for our chestnut Christmas tree. I'm going to put that project up a little bit later here. We are going to do a topper to this one first. So this is how it looks, a little tiny bow for our chestnut tree. Thank you for watching, and next time we're going to make a tree topper.